What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys for clicking on this video here. Now, what you guys are about to watch is an interview with an individual named Jason. Now, when you hear his story, he was able to turn about $8,000 into $1 million in about 6 months in the year of 2022. Now, again, hearing stories like this from a lot of people that have joined the Trade 1348 platform, it's one of the most incredible and unbelievable things to see. Now, again, if you guys do want to get access to that 2-week free trial, make sure you guys check out that link down below. But there are a lot of very, very powerful lessons from this conversation with Jason that I think a lot of you guys will benefit from if you want to have any type of success in today's market. So again, guys, before we go into this interview, make sure you guys drop a like on this video, comment down below, and make sure that you guys are subscribed for more videos like this. Trade 1348 gang, I love you guys. Let's get right into it.
What's you gonna do?
I don't know.
Go to your house and smack you with a stack?
Hey Jason, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
Good. All right. Can everybody?
Sorry, guys. I was driving, and as it's creeping up on the time, I'm getting less and less bars. I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. But so let's take it a little bit back from the beginning. So you started with 8,000.
Yep. Yeah. So I started with 8K, and well, I started with 8K. I started with like 60K. Ended up with 8K.
Yep.
And then started doing 1348, and I still had a lot of the bad habits. So it took me a while because I wanted that 60K back. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to be even.
Yep.
And it wasn't working. It wasn't working. You guys keep saying the same thing over and over again. I know the math. I see the math. Math works, but I just couldn't convince myself. So I would do the stupid swings. I would do the stupid YOLOs. I would do the, dumb habits. Bad habits.
Yep.
And I'll say about June. Yeah, so I really started with you guys like in February, I think. I was following along with 1348, but I wasn't like in the system. You know what I mean? I wasn't paying or anything like that. I was kind of just trying to figure it out on my own, and it wasn't working.
Yep.
But by June, I ditched most of the bad habits. I was still trying to swing, but I wasn't getting contracts far enough out. But I was still working with. I was probably even then. I was probably like back to 8K. You know what I mean? Like it floated. Like I would go up and I would come down, and the swings were just so big.
Mm-hmm.
And the more volatile the market got, getting those further contracts really, really changed the game. I think was one of the biggest things for me.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned from that too. I mean, swinging, depending on how much time you have, you're gonna have a little bit more volatility in your account. But the one thing that I really kind of want to hear about, and that I think a lot of people can learn a lot from, is when you really started cranking, where things started to click and you started to have these larger days. How did you then decide and keep yourself in line with proper risk management and focusing on not changing what wasn't broken?
Yeah, so one, I quit swinging altogether for like 2 or 3 months.
Yep.
To kind of boost the account up. So in probably between June and September, I was averaging like 5 to 8% a day. I would say, I would have some bad days, like the stupid days where it does nothing like it's supposed to, and it reverses trends at odd times, or I'd set my phone down. You know what I mean? Like, those bad days, they suck. But that proper risk management is what keeps them from sucking as bad as they used to suck.
Yeah.
Like only being in with 10% at a time. I did that for really steady for 3 months.
So,
and then I tried to get greedy for a month because I thought I was doing really good.
That's the thing. That's okay. This is what I want to get into right here. So how did that go?
I literally had to break that mindset, that cycle, like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, so I mean, so I went from 8K, I built up to probably like 65K, 85K, somewhere like mid-September, and then I lost like 20K in a day. It was disgusting.
Yep.
I hated it. I didn't touch my phone or computer or anything for like a week and a half. And then I don't know. It just started. I went back. I got so sick that day because it was, that's a lot of money. Like for me, that's real money, And I got so sick that day that there was no going back to that. So it was 10%, no more. It was, I did start getting much further out contracts, just to decrease some of that risk. And I was very happy with waking up and swinging a month and a half out contract and being up 3%. Well, 3%, I'm already a third of the way to my 1%, which is all I ever shot for.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't stop at 1, but I never shot for more than 1,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like the compounding is just ridiculous, right? When you take it in one day, you change your account 20%, and then you start stacking 5s and 7s on top of that, and then your bad day is a -2. That's
Mm-hmm.
like probably my worst day since that one really, really bad day. And those compounded gains, man, it's disgusting how fast it chalks up. And I did really good for a while. I didn't pull anything out of the account for a while. For a while, I'd let it get to like 250, 250K, and it's just mind blowing to me, right? Because 8K it's a long way to go.
That's a big run there in itself, man. I mean,
Yeah.
those moves that you're making from 8 to 60 to 100 to 250, those are big, and those are all life-changing numbers, man. This run that you've been on is really awesome. So I think some of the other things that are some of the members of our community might want to hear, even the new people or people on the sidelines that are just kind of curious about kind of what we're doing here, is there anything in particular or a set of things that you would say really, once those clicked or you started doing these specific things, that things really turned and you started to really, really get on that path to compounding?
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to say it was something I learned or something I did, but I think it was a lot of what the market's doing too. Like when we started playing the reversals and we started looking at these reversals, and the algorithms help us predict them so freaking well, it's unbelievable. I mean, even today, you look at I was in SPY put still, and I'm going to lunch with a lawyer that I needed to hire, and here we are. Invictus starts spitting out Tesla and Apple calls, and what happened? That's a big pop that happened right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on with it right now. I haven't looked, but like it was easy. I got out, no problem, because I kind of saw it coming. Like I know if it breaks this 48 on the 3, it's gonna pop. So I got out. As soon as it touched the 48 on 3, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
So I just minimize those losses so much better now. I think that's the biggest thing is like, I rarely see, I'm not going to say I never see, but I rarely see a -15. Like I don't go there anymore. There's no point. Once you grow that account, it's, you don't need to take that downside risk anymore because you still have money for the day.
Yep.
You know what I mean? To make real amounts of money.
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest thing, honestly, is just steadily growing that account till you get to a point where you don't even have to risk 15 anymore. I'm not risking 1% of my portfolio anymore. I'm risking 0.25%. You know.
Exactly.
He gets it. He gets it. You get it, man. Now you understand how I trade and why I trade the way I trade. I just want to share something. A lot of people are asking questions here about like any particular stocks, any particular method. But what I hear him saying a lot, sort of kind of reminds me of Albert Einstein's quote, where compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And I guess Jason, I mean, you keep talking about like the math and the compounding interest and how amazing it is, right? Um, I think for where did it like just really just start accelerating for you? At what point do you feel like, oh, okay, I'm pretty much invincible at this point?
Yeah, I mean, once I got 100K in there, and that's where I leave it at. That's where I drew it down to. So that's where I'm at now. Once you get there, I mean, 1%'s a grand, you know? Okay, that's cool. So I shoot for 1%. I make $1,000 a day. Not bad money.
Not bad.
You know? But there again, if I'm playing 10% of my portfolio and I get 1% or 2%, that's great. But with the algorithms, that's 1 and 2%. You blow right past that most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean Invictus and all the other stuff we have they're killers.
You're at 1.5% of your portfolio with a 15% gain on playing the rules, and now I'm making 1,500 on one play. I still got 9 plays left.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So guys, I want all of the people in here right now, all of the new members, all the people on the sidelines, the people that have been with us for a while. I want you to really take a step back and understand what Jason's saying. He went from 60 to 8 to $1 million. How? He played with proper risk management and the tools that have been provided. What have we said a lot of the time? Everybody has the same tools. Trader Joe's up 14%. But why are some people able to have better results than others? It comes down to your mindset, emotional discipline, and risk management. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways here, where it's like you start to build that confidence. And when your portfolio size starts to grow, it becomes this snowballing feeding effect on itself because you're able to get more time, manage your risk better, and the dollar amounts are a little bit more meaningful.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, that being said, most of that money went to pay off my $700,000 alimony. But that's in the rear view now, so it's all windshield from here, baby.
Whoa! Note to self, STV, don't get married. Jesus.
Yeah, facts. So I don't know if you guys remember, but like back in February or March or whatever, like I mentioned it a couple of times, and I know Gabe called it out a couple of times or whatever. Just like, holy crap, that's a lot of money for alimony.
Yeah, that's a lot,
man. Yeah, it was stupid, but it's all done now.
That's good.
It's all paid off, and I'm got my 100. I think I'm at 9.5% today already, so not a bad payday already. So
pretty fucking good, man. I mean, again, I want
back off to the second one.
You what?
Back off to the races for the second one.
The second wife or the second million?
No, the second million.
Dude. Congratulations. Right. So people are saying save some for taxes. Absolutely. Right. You have an allocation, right? So let's
it's all set aside. It's all done.
Okay. So, you got a cool $500,000, right? You got a cool $500,000. And let me tell you, man, this shit's easy. Like, it's just so easy when you have that kind of money. I'm talking from experience. All it takes is just one more double. Like, that's all it takes is one more double, and you're back to $1 million, right? And then from there, it just takes one more double, and now you're at 2 million. It's all about a doubles game here, right? And so, like, I'm really, really proud of you because you're now at a point where you could essentially trade, and I oftentimes, sometimes I say to myself, like, man, am I disenfranchised from the community, right? Because of what I trade, how I trade, and how big I trade, right? But the thing is that, like, you're able to see the power of money, and how everything remains relative in percentage, right? And so I got to ask you, do you see yourself trading any different now than compared to when you had 8,000?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't have to take near as much risk. Well, first of all, I was taking too much risk to start with, right? And that was the problem for a long time. And then, you get to that point and you're like, all right, I can see that I don't need to take as much risk. And then you see that the gains stack up higher and higher the less risk you take, because you're not taking any loss. You're taking negligible loss,
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's probably the biggest thing. Is, other than that, no. I mean, I've been playing by the rules for the most part. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Good.
I don't think I trade any different, with the rules, except for I'm not afraid to cut a loss now. Like, just get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because those losers, when they go the wrong way, they hurt.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't cut them in time, if you don't have a stop loss set, which, I didn't like setting a stop loss, because I know they like to hit that right at that level, so I would manually do it. That was another problem, but I still do that. But like I said, I can see that if it's gonna come down and test that stop, or start going in the wrong direction, I'm gone. I'm just cutting it.
Dude, this is everything that Gabe and I have been saying and trying to get across to you guys for the past year. So the fact that you can come on here and say, I became a millionaire and all I had to do was just listen and implement. It's
Yeah,
that.
like,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I just want to add. I just want to add really quickly. I just want to add really quickly that I think in the next 6 months to a year, he'll be back on the stream with $5 million. And the reason why I say this is because we talk about this over and over and over. Build the good habits now, so that they're there when you have the big money. Because when you have that big money, it starts to accelerate at a rate where it can be intimidating, right? So my next question for you, Jason, you focus on percentages, or you focus on dollar amounts? Where are you at with that?
Percentages.
There you go.
Percentages. Because I was just getting ready to say, so I sat down with my son. He just graduated high school this past spring or whatever. So,
Nice.
I sat down with him, starting in like February or March of this year too. And I was showing him, because I saw the power of it. Like, I just couldn't get myself to play by the rules long enough to capitalize on the power of it. Right? But I could see it. Like, there's no denying the power of it. But so I started teaching him, and so I think he started off with like 400. We didn't get him started till like October, but he learned like the whole way through, and we're going through a couple things, and I would have him do kind of like homework assignments almost on it. I give him a D for effort, but
how's he doing now?
But he's doing really well. I mean, he's not like real big into it, but he's getting his 1% a day, and he started off with $400, which is, whatever.
Yeah.
And we sat down just the other day, and I was showing him, like, have you done the compound calculator? Have you seen like how many days it'll take to get where you want to go? And $400, 1%. It's like, it's kind of sad to be done trading.
Mm-hmm.
It's $4. It's
But
a McChicken.
Exactly. But think about if that was a $400,000 portfolio. And this is another thing that I want you guys to understand too, is okay, you have to treat the portfolio that you have right now as if it's 10 or 100 times as big. Because think about it like this. If you're going to make dumbass decisions with a $4,000 account, that loss is going to hurt a lot more if you somehow flip that into 400 grand and then make idiot decisions. So this is why we try to harp on you guys. It's like, it's a game of percentages and risk management. And then Jason comes in here and is just the perfect example of that.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like, we were doing the math and it's like, whatever, I don't remember exactly what it was. Less than 3 years from a $400 account, 1% a day.
For him to get where he wants to go.
Yeah. I tell you what, the ROI on that, compared to a college education,
it's priceless.
Yeah.
Jason, I know it was your son's birthday yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was.
So yesterday is also the day that you cracked the big 7 figures. How what'd you do when you saw that, or when it, like, what was going through your mind? What'd you do?
I'm not gonna lie, we rolled a big fat one and burned it.
With your son?
Hibachi. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is.
Went to hibachi.
It went to hibachi? Dude, it's a great way to celebrate, man.
Absolutely.
Oh,
dude,
man.
That's amazing. Well, Jason, dude, I think oh, Gabe, go ahead.
Yeah, cheers to your success, Jason. I mean, this is the reason why this community started. You know, I mean, I did my due diligence and put together the strategy and then called STV and said, bro, look at this. Let's go ahead and change lives. And that's a very, very bold statement to make at damn near 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've done it, sir.
What'd you say, Jason?
Answer.
You've done it. You've changed lives. That's a fact.
Man.
Check the box.
Yeah, man. It is making me teary-eyed a little bit, to be honest with you. So, like, I just get off the stream here. But Jason, man, we love you. And thank you for sharing your story, man. And dude, like, just keep killing it, dude. That's all I can say.
Yep.
Yeah, I love you guys too. I'm gonna get off here before I choke up.
Jason, man, thank you for being a part of this, man. This is I think just the very beginning for you. I mean, and for all of us here too. I mean, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. We've got some stuff in the works that I think is gonna make it a lot easier for you guys to sort of manage risk and realize where you guys are kind of messing up and where you have success in implementing on those things. But again, we are not going to stop until every single day. I want one more of you guys just to flip that switch and just start thinking as a professional trader and not as a retail trader. When that happens, you turn into somebody like Jason.
Yep.
Now we just gotta start our own banking system so we can start milking the Federal Reserve, right?
Oh, okay. We could do that too.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh man.
All right, you guys have a good one. I'm gonna get off here.
Jason, thank you, man.
Thanks, bud.
Later.
Thanks, guys. You guys. Bye.